Picture a deer. It has spent its entire life deep in an untouched forest. No roads, no contact with civilization. Suddenly, you walk toward it. What does it do? It bolts. Not because of a past trauma. That panic was hard-coded into its biology before birth. Biologists call this an innate predator template, an instinctual blueprint of danger requiring zero prior experience to trigger. Now, picture that exact same deer caught in a wire fence. You walk up slowly, holding tools. Something counterintuitive happens. The animal stops thrashing. It goes completely still, watching you, sometimes even leaning toward your hands. What is happening inside its brain? Physically, entrapment is catastrophic. The second a wild creature loses its freedom of movement, its brain reads the event as its final seconds alive. Blood analysis of captured wildlife shows metabolic chaos mirroring a human cardiac arrest. The system is rationing its final reserves, shutting down organs for a desperate play for survival. When you step toward that animal, you aren't approaching a frightened creature waiting for a savior. You are stepping toward a biological engine that has already accepted its own destruction. So why do they freeze? An apex predator on the hunt has a distinct signature: high velocity, locked focus, and a direct line of approach. Every prey species has that sequence burned into its evolutionary memory. But a human working around a trap completely violates that template. Your movements are slow. Your eyes are fixed on the mechanism, not the animal. You make no sounds of a chase. The creature's alarm system scans the incoming data for a match and finds nothing. Researchers call this threat pattern disruption. The survival alarm stays fully armed, but it has no target to lock onto. The animal isn't experiencing calm. It is experiencing a cognitive suspension, waiting for a predator sequence that never arrives. To an outside observer, that paralysis looks like trust. In 2011, a young elephant slipped into a concrete ditch in India. A rescue team spent the night using heavy machinery to build a makeshift dirt ramp. The moment she climbed out, she didn't sprint for safety. She lingered at the lip of the channel for nearly 4 minutes, squarely facing the rescue crew. Not the jungle, not the water, the humans. Then she walked away. For an organism operating under peak survival stress, for minutes of absolute stillness when escape is wide open is an immense anomaly. Every evolutionary drive should have forced her to flee. Yet, she remained. Elephants possess the largest temporal lobe relative to body mass of any land mammal. They retain specific memories for more than 4 decades and identify individual humans after a lifetime of separation. The assumption that an elephant cannot separate a human who inflicts trauma from a human who delivers relief contradicts everything we know about their brains. There is a specific post-rescue behavior that constantly reappears across global documentation, completely defying biological logic: post-release orientation. The restraint is gone. Standard evolutionary logic commands the animal to vanish into cover. Instead, the animal halts. It turns its body to face the human, maintaining that position for a duration that offers absolutely no defensive advantage. A rehabilitated red-tailed hawk in the Pacific Northwest, set free after weeks of care for a wing fracture, circled the clearing 4 times, looking down at the release site before flying away. A leopard seal in the subantarctic, cut loose from a fishing net, surfaced and hovered alongside the hull of the vessel for 11 straight minutes before diving. Leopard seals are notoriously solitary and do not idle near human activity. The scientific community documents these incidents with extreme precision, remaining conservative with interpretations. But this exact behavioral loop keeps recurring across vastly different species and environments that share only a single common denominator. A human intervened, and the animal, for a brief window, chose not to run. The truth is, we don't have a tidy conclusion for this phenomenon yet. Our neurological tools are expanding, helping us map what occurs inside these animals without relying on cheap anthropomorphism or reducing them to unfeeling machines. The empirical data shows that certain complex animals radically alter their survival programming when met with calm, intentional human action. What occurs immediately following their release breaks the standard rules of evolutionary utility. What exists in the blank space between those two realities remains an open frontier. Perhaps these animals are executing internal calculations that our current technology cannot measure. Perhaps they aren't. But the hawk circled the clearing. The elephant refused to run. The seal held its position by the hull. Something profound took place in those brief windows of time. We just haven't invented the word for it yet.